guys, welcome back to Real Talk with Ian and Keitaiya. Today we are going to be dealing with a very interesting topic. Our topic today, and one of the questions we received is there such thing as over-communicating or sharing too much in a relationship? I guess I will start with answering that question. For me, I guess it depends on the situation. For example, if you just had an argument in your relationship, whether it's a boyfriend or girlfriend, whichever one started the argument, there isn't such thing as maybe you may have to take a pause or a break and come back to the conversation. Because if you keep on talking about their problem, it can cause more friction in that relationship, ending that conversation. Baby, what do you think as it pertains to whether it's an argument or just, even if there's some type of disagreement?
Well, first I want to say this then. Communication is important. There's no such thing as having a healthy, successful relationship without communication. There's no such thing. Knowing how to communicate our emotions and our feelings is a very important task, and sometimes can be more challenging than we realize. You have to look at certain dynamics in communication. For one is the person that you're speaking to in your relationship. What is their background? Are they able to handle certain things you might want to say? And how are you going to communicate what you're going to say? So when it comes to communicating, over communicating or under communicating, it's important to know first the context of your relationship. If you're married to someone that is not a verbal communicator, they don't express themselves a lot verbally, then it's important to know how to maneuver, and then you can find some challenges. What do you think?
Yeah, and I think, for example, for me, I think in our relationship, I am the one that do a lot of the talking and the communicating, especially when it comes to problems or situations or things that concerns me. And so sometimes I have to actually think about, should I wait on talking about this topic right now, or should I come back to this situation later? And we also have to use wisdom. Should we kind of pause on some topics? For example, if you know that, for example, if it's pertaining to you just went out shopping and you bought something that you shouldn't have bought, and you start the conversation and your boyfriend may get upset about that at that time, and you may have to say, okay, let me wait a few minutes, let him calm down, and then I'll come back and talk about it. Because first of all, you know you probably shouldn't have been spending the money. But that's a whole nother topic. But that's one of the examples of knowing how to communicate even before you go shopping. Should I be spending the money? Was that somewhere I'll bill money? And knowing how to be able to come to that agreement and compromise of how can we do this and work together without creating that friction or creating that argument all the time.
One of the things I would strongly recommend with people, if you're in a relationship and you're looking at marriage, and communication is a big issue for you guys at this point, and you haven't even gotten into marriage, I would really recommend that this will be the place for you guys to really overcome in that area and really learn how to effectively communicate with one another. If one is not a verbal communicator and one is, for the one that is the communicator, knowing when to hold back and knowing how much to give. And also for the one that is not the communicator, learning how to go beyond yourself, because the other person needs that information. They need that interaction from you. And so it's important that we can interact, but also knowing to hold back that interaction for the sake of one another. So it's balance. You have to be able to balance. Too much of any good thing is not a good thing. Too much of any good thing is literally not a good thing. So whether it's too much silence or too much communication, it's not a good thing. It's knowing how to balance, knowing when to say, okay, this is the time for us to talk about things, and we've allotted that time for that. And then, okay, this is the time for us to just woosah a minute, to just take a moment and back off of some things and just catch our breather, catch our breath, and then we can come back at it again once we've processed it, once we learn how we really can to deal with our spouse, our mate, and just really be able to communicate our emotions and our thoughts effectively. Communication is such a broad topic. This is just a small tidbit, I would say, of how deep we can get into this conversation. And there's so many different aspects. What I want to encourage you guys to do is this: if you guys can send us just send us a message or post a note saying, hey, this is the situation, how would you handle with this? Give us something very specific as it pertains to communication. because I would love to go into this topic into more details, but I'd love to know what it is that you're asking for, what you're looking for. So send that to us, and we can do our best. We'll try to do our best to help you out with it on the next one.
Yes. And so we're gearing to close this session. But like he said, if there's any questions pertaining to communication, pertaining to whether it's finances, pertaining to just dating, or just how you live out your married life, or just some good techniques or just things that you may be wondering or want to just ask, so just write it down in the comment section below. Make sure you subscribe. We'll be having more videos to come, so we look forward to talking to you, and we pray that you enjoy your day.
All right, you guys have a wonderful time. See you guys next time.
Bye.